Hello, I have returned for the part 2 of the really long video that I made the other day. If you didn't watch that video, go back and watch it because it's kind of an update of everything I've been through and what led me to a place of being healed from erythrophobia. And where I left off, I talked about how I had a ton of anxiety about meeting with a client, and I had met with clients, and not this particular client, but around this particular topic and strategy multiple times. And then I got in front of them. Well, before I got in front of them, I just had so much anxiety. I was talking about human design, strategies around human design, and menstrual cycle syncing. And the really cool thing is, let me see. I have asked a guest to join us on the channel. I want to interview her about human design. She does human design coaching. I think it's kind of like human design readings. Again, I am going to talk about this over and over and over again because I feel like it was such a huge part of my journey, is understanding how you operate within the human design, what your strategies are, why it feels like a round peg, square peg, round hole so often in your life. And one thing that I've learned about people who have chronic blushing, flushing, erythrophobia, hyperhidrosis, any of those types of nervous system responses to themselves in their body, specifically that causes flushing or blushing. Again, the blushing, the redness, that's just a physical outside symptom of what's actually taking place on the inside when your adrenals kick in and you're having that rush of blood flow. We just turn red. But so many other people experience that within their social hindrances or their insecurities or social anxiety disorder, or just social anxiety in general. And for some of us, we turn red. One thing I've learned on my own journey is that many people who struggle with erythrophobia or do blush, they are highly sensitive people. I've talked about this in other videos in the past. There's a book called The Highly Sensitive Person. Definitely go check that out. I always tell my coaching clients to check that book out, listen to it on Audible, get the cliff notes, like whatever, do some research, watch a YouTube video of somebody telling you what the book is all about. But I do believe there's a lot of information, helpful information that can be found in that book. I listened to it on audio while I was running in the spring, so that's what I would listen to on audio when I would take my runs. But highly sensitive people a lot of times are operating in a world that doesn't feel like it's made for them. But I just want to tell you that you're supposed to be here. I know sometimes you can feel like you're this foreign person, like this foreign being that is just existing among others. And it seems like other people are not operating out of the same place that you're operating out of. Sometimes you're having conversations. You want to go deep. You want to have these really in-depth conversations, and people want to talk about the weather and sports, and that's just not what resonates with you. I've found that a lot of people who blush also tend to be very deep people. So for human design, I am what's called a projector, a 2/4. If you've never heard of human design, it means nothing to you, but I really want to urge you to look into it. And maybe I have a blog on aprilpointer.com about my whole findings around human design. Maybe I'll post that blog over on Blushing Phoenix as well, or I'll link it below. So if you're interested, you could take a look at just the beginning of my journey with human design. Anyway, I'm going to have a guest on the channel soon in the very near future. She actually talks about human design. It's what she does, and she'll be able to help break it down for us way better, because I think that so many of you who are listening may have not looked into human design, and you're probably living your life in a way that you've seen others do, or in a way that you've been told to live, or maybe just in your family, people operate out of this like specific generator or manifesting generator space. And so me as a projector, if I try to be a generator, I can go hard and heavy and work long hours, but then I just have a lot of burnout and bitterness. So anyway, like I said, I don't have the knowledge to give you the full context. I just know that I know, and that as I started living through that strategy of my own human design, my life just started changing, and I stopped blushing, and I feel so much more in alignment with who I am. The other part of that was cycle syncing, and we could talk more and more and more about this, but as a woman who has hormones, who those hormones are changing throughout the month, this is TMI, but like I am on my period right now. I could tell coming in from the last week, the last few days, I don't look like myself. I feel like my face just didn't look like me. I'm like super hungry, more hungry than normal. My mood was off, but I have this app that I can track and see like where I'm at and just kind of understanding where I'm at. And I have been preaching about this to all the women around me about how it's kind of like, for example, when I lived in Tennessee, we would go to the beach in Florida. In order to get there, you have to go, or we would go through Alabama. So you're on the interstate for a little bit from Tennessee into Alabama, and then you get on these back roads. Well, if I'm watching the GPS, I know that the destination is the beach. Lovely, wonderful. We're going to enjoy ourselves. It's going to be a dream. But in order to get there, I have to go through the back streets of Alabama. And those feel like they're going to take forever. The speed limit is from like 55 to 35 to 55 to 45 to 35. Like you are just constantly going long stretches of road to get to where you're trying to get to in Florida. But I don't worry about being stuck in Alabama or that this is going to last forever on these back roads and this, like, there's no beautiful view. It's boring. There's hardly any gas stations. But I don't worry too much about it because I know the destination is the beach and the GPS can show me that we're traveling through. And so for me, what cycle syncing has done is I look on an app, I watch the app. When I just feel like absolute crap, I can look at that app and see where I'm at in my cycle and realize I'm just traveling through. I still want to live my life even in the days and on the days that don't feel as magical, but I don't get so caught up in my head about am I going to be stuck in this place forever? Because you're just in the back roads of Alabama and soon you'll be at the beach again. So that's what it's done for me, is it's just given me this kind of bird's eye view to be able to look and see where I'm at when my moods are shifting, when my body feels different, when my mind feels different, when I'm super tired, when I'm hungry, and just realizing what my body needs by tracking my menstrual cycle on an app. And also, not that I can always make everything fit into where I'm at in my cycle, but I know I'm way more social in different parts of my cycle. I know I need a lot more rest when I'm in other parts of my cycle, and a lot of self-care and just a lot of alone time. So it helps me to map out when I want to go have dinner with friends or when I want to do something with my children, like a bigger event that's going to take a lot more energy. And instead of being moody and tired and crampy and all the things, I can watch my cycle and see where to place those events. Again, not all the time. Like there, for instance, I was like full blown in luteal phase. Luteal phase is when you feel a lot crappier, and I decided to pack my kids up and take them to the mall during summer break, and I felt so awful and so grumpy. But I also know that I have the power to pull myself up out of that mood, and so I was like, hey, we're going to make this the best time that we can have, and I'm going to give as much of myself as I can with a time limit, knowing that we're going to be here for like an hour and a half and then we're going to head back home. And so we turned on some good music. I put the windows down, the sun was shining. And the next thing I know, my mood lifted and elevated because I was very conscious of, I want this to be a good time for all of us. I don't want to just lean on the fact that like, I'm in my luteal phase. So, you know, there's balance in it, but I share that with you to say that's been huge for me in my growth, and in the possibility of eliminating blushing for me. I also told you guys about karaoke and how there is a small tap room down the street from me and they do karaoke one night a week. And when I can, I have gone by there with my husband and we just grab the microphone and sing and have a good time. And you know what I realized? Whenever I used to do karaoke, I would be so nervous because I feel like it needed to be so good. It's karaoke. And one thing that I realized is that I love to sing and I love to hear other people have a good time and sing and express their gift. And even when people aren't even singing good, they're having a good time and the crowd is having a good time. Like that is what it's about for me, is being able to be in that essence with other people who are just having fun. And so one thing I realized as I continue to get up there in the front and grab that microphone and sing is that it's not about about perfection. It's not about being perfect. It's just about having fun. That's what karaoke is. And I feel like I carry that with me in so many parts of my life. Like, yeah, I want to be serious with my clients, and you have to like read the room and know when it's time to like be funny and when it's time to be in a very serious moment. But even in very serious moments, I still have fun because it's something about the human experience is not rigid. It is up and it's down and it's expansive and it's restrictive and it's fun and it's sad and it's happy and it's horrible at times, but that's all part of the human experience. So that's what I realized with karaoke. It was just, I love to sing karaoke. If you want to sing karaoke, but you're afraid you're going to blush, but you really want to sing karaoke, sing the karaoke. I promise you're not going to get to the end of your life and ever regret the fact that you got up there and chose fun over perfection. I've talked about this in other videos before about, for some people, or at least on my journey, perfectionism played a huge role in how I show up and also in why I was a chest and neck flesher. So anyway, I wanted to wrap up that video from a couple weeks ago and give you the part 2 that I told you about. So here it is. Yeah. Hey, we're doing some changes on the website. If you want to go check out blushingphoenix.com, it's linked below. Go check it out. Be sure to sign up for the newsletter. There's just some things that are brewing, and I'm really excited for what is going to be birthed into this next season. When I talk about human design, the way I've approached Blushing Phoenix in the past is from a very generator perspective, which is like, go make something happen out of this thing and reach all the people and do all the things. But as a projector, what you realize is that it has to stay authentic to me. I have to feel authentic in what I'm doing and how I'm showing up. And so some of that is just waiting for an invitation and waiting for those doors to open. But I can assure you, even though you haven't seen or heard much from me, it doesn't mean that Blushing Phoenix has fallen to the side. It is something new that's coming in a way of bringing more support around the channel, getting more guests on the channel, growing my Ignite podcast as well, because that is something that's just beyond the blush. That is everything for passionate, creative, and ambitious people who want to do more with their life, but feel held back by their social hindrances or their insecurities in general. And we have the power to overcome that. You have the power to overcome that because I did. And if I did it, you can too. I 100% know that that is possible because I've done it myself and I can stand behind that with full confidence for me and for you. So until next time, be sure to subscribe if you're not and give this video a like if you liked it and leave a comment. Let's interact. And until next time, I see you in my next video. Bye.